Alright, welcome back. We are here for some more Tower of God. Yeah. Even after all this time, I still don't know how to start these videos. Whatever, fuck it. Well, this is already off to a great start. I'm a little bit tired. It's not a time you'd expect me to be tired, it's fucking R5. But I'm a little bit tired. So I'm probably going to do one chapter to this video. But either way, let's just get into it, you know what I'm saying? Warning. This episode contains depictions of violence that may be upsetting for some readers. I'm originally from a branch of one of the 10 great families, but because of a situation with my parents, I grew up with the main family. Ever since I was little, I've always been closer to animals than to people. As an indirect descendant, I felt alienated by the people in the main family, down on me. But animals are so straightforward about their feelings that I could relate to them right away. When I gave animals love, they gave the same love back to me. They never betrayed me. After becoming a regular and climbing the tower in spite of opposition from people around me, I chose to become an anima. Rather than dominating animals and forcing them to obey me, I chose to grow closer to them by giving them love. It took a long time, but I thought that was the best way to become a true anima. As I climbed the tower, I arrived at a certain village, and heard that the people there were having trouble because of some giant rabbits that came down from the mountain. Because of their enormous size and extraordinary fertility, the rabbits weren't easy to get rid of. Upon hearing that, I went to check out the mountain behind the village and found the rabbits' den. Seeing how many of them there were, I knew that the army would probably be called in to deal with them soon. Before the army could come and kill the rabbits, I offered to get rid of them for the villagers first. I found out that the giant rabbits came down to the village in search of food, so we temporarily locked every door in the village. And in one part of the village I put some of their favorite food, coated in a drug for reducing their fertility. As I expected, the rabbits swarmed to the spot, and I went there every day and gave the rabbits food myself. At first, most of the giant rabbits avoided me, but over time they gradually let their guard down. After a lot of hard work, I finally managed to bring them under my control and stop them from reproducing. Then I gathered the villagers together and told them how to coexist peacefully with the rabbits. I told them that they may lack food now because of the rabbits, but as the rabbit population decreases, the situation would soon improve. And the villagers listened to me. I taught the villagers how to befriend the rabbits, and the rabbits became their pets. Over time, the number of giant rabbits on the mountain decreased dramatically, and I stayed there for a long time because people recognized me as an expert on the rabbits. A long time after that, suddenly a lot of the giant rabbits were found dead in the village, and witnesses said that some monster from the mountains had done it. People were terrified by the appearance of this unidentified monster. I headed over to the mountain on request from the villagers. I thought that even the most terrible monster could be befriended with good, genuine intentions. But that belief of mine was shattered the moment I saw it. Is it Yasracha? Oh, okay, never mind. It was as big as a castle, with a flaming mane and 2 terrifying heads. It was unlike any animal I had seen before. I couldn't even imagine befriending it. I felt so helpless. The monster slipped away into the darkness. I returned to the village, and seeing that even I didn't know what to do, the scared villagers suggested that they bring in the army. After a few days after that, someone named Yasracha appeared. He said that he was very familiar with the monster that had appeared in this village, and that he knew how to deal with it. He was confident that he could overpower it. Soon, the battle began. There were flashes of light on the mountain, and some loud noises. Then, Yasracha came back with the unconscious monster. Seeing that all of the villagers praised Yasracha's strength, and and I was completely forgotten. Yasuacha told them that wild animals are dangerous and shouldn't be tamed. He said that they can only be overpowered or killed. And he told the villagers that the giant rabbits must be eliminated from the village to prevent such monsters from reappearing. People thought that Yasuacha was right, so they began abandoning or beating and killing the rabbits they had been raising as pets. Dead bodies of brutally murdered rabbits were found throughout the village. And the rabbits, which had been lucky enough to escape or be abandoned, ran back to the mountains in fear. I couldn't stop them. All of this felt like it was my fault. I couldn't take it anymore, so I risked my life and went to see Yasuacha. I told him that people began hating and killing innocent rabbits because of him. I said that I had to tell him that I believed that his violent ways were wrong, even if it meant endangering my own life. I told him how I tamed the giant rabbits, and said that animals and people have to find a way to live together in peace. Hearing what I had to say, Yasuacha simply laughed and disagreed. Violent? Do you really think your approach is any less violent than mine? Come with me. I'll show you what kind of person you are. I went with Yasuacha. Yasuacha took me somewhere in the giant mountain range connected to the mountain behind the village. What the villagers simply thought of as the mountain behind the village was actually a part of an enormous mountain range. And what I saw there shocked me. A bunch of those terrifying monsters were devouring the giant rabbits. The rabbits were their food. That's when I realized why those monsters had come to the village. Do you get it now? Those beasts have been feeding on giant rabbits for ages. They're quite intelligent, so they try to stay out of human territory as much as possible. That's why they never appeared on that mountain behind the village, which allowed the rabbits to escape there. If you had just left them alone, the beasts would have come and gotten rid of the rabbits for you eventually. But because you brought the rabbits into the village and stopped them from breeding, the beasts didn't have enough food, so they had to come near the village. If I hadn't gotten rid of the rabbits in the village, the hungry beasts might have gone and harmed the villagers. Oh wait, no, this is still Yasuacha. Then all those innocent people would have been killed, and these beasts would have been slaughtered by the government troops. That whole tragedy would have occurred because of one arrogant anima who thought he could control nature. Do you still think I'm more violent than you? I couldn't say anything. What overcame me at that moment was not a feeling of guilt toward the animals that had died, but a feeling of helplessness that I, an anima, had failed to control the situation. I'm not trying to blame you. I actually understand how you feel. How could you understand? What people like you actually want is complete control over others. And animals are much easier to control than people. That's not true. Stop being such a hypocrite. Show that disgusting, arrogant desire to dominate everything. That's your true nature, and what you will become. If you can be honest with yourself, I'll give you the power to control a lot of things. The power to control. It was too sweet an offer to refuse. He knew me. 52nd floor. All out fight. 3. Bam. Fucking Char going off, man. Jesus. No, Hatz. Go for the division, Commander, while I hold back the hostages. Purification. Distant and enormous sea that sharpened this sword. It is said to be a sea that purifies all things. The reason that this sword obeys me, even though I'm not a ranker, is because I may be weak. But I'm also slightly more transparent than rankers. But who's saying this to him? Is that Wagner? Or... No, it's not. Who is that? Oh, it's Leiroro. Fucking hell. Take it. Is this... a sword? Yes, it's a sword. Wow. Wow. You giving it to him? Lucky him. I'm your son too. Do you have anything for me? It's from Wolkakson, not me. They seem to have chosen it very carefully because of your bomb's companion. And they wanted to give you something that would be useful. It's even an ignition weapon. It would be dangerous if anyone finds out this is connected to Wolkakson, so if anyone asks where you got it from, just tell them you found it by chance in the tower. What? An ignition weapon? Can regulars use it? Yes. D-rank regulars can use it. I was surprised too. But this sword is very proud. So it doesn't listen to people who are too strong. Its strength and abilities also change depending on the situation and its mood. And many rankers have died trying to ignite this sword. What? Died? Yes. They just passed out and never woke up again. What a scary weapon. Don't take out the sword, or try to ignite it unless you absolutely have to. Funnily enough, the sword is more likely to listen to those who are weak. But only if the owner is free of greed and has a pure mind. If someone tries to use the sword with even slightly bad intentions, it can even kill them. It has a mind of its own, so it's dangerous. I'm giving you this sword because I think you have a purer mind than anyone I know, Hatz. You mean it can kill you if you're too greedy? I know Hatz isn't that kind of person, of course, but this is too dangerous. It's better to not use it. That's right. It's better not to use it if possible. Then why are you giving it to him? Swords are dangerous by nature. But it would be silly not to have a sword just because it's dangerous. It's certainly a dangerous sword, but as you climb the tower with Balm, eventually you'll need it. When you're in a situation where you're willing to risk your life for something, if you focus entirely on that goal and ignite this sword then, I'm sure it will lend you its power. Just focus on saving these brainwashed people. If I don't ask for any more than that, I'm sure this sword will help me. Donghae! Ignite! Just once. I can't take any more than that. Just this once. Please work. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, man. Hatz actually getting to do something cool. Let's go, boys. Hatz coming in MVP. What's going on? My daze is getting weaker. Did it work? Nice! He's losing control over them. I can't believe it. How could a regular break my spell? Thank you for this chance, Hatz. I won't let it go to waste. I do change character voices pretty frequently, I'm noticing. Because, the Yasuracha's guy, the guy on the chair, I voiced him differently last chapter. And I think I also voiced him differently the chapter before that. And I also voiced Cha differently earlier on as well. Not this chapter, but in Season 3. As if he's been anywhere else. Regeneration isn't working! You bastards! Primal Punch. Lethal move. Tire him! That's my face exactly. Well, it's not. You'd see that if I had a webcam. At 1,000, you know? Maybe. Hit the sub button. You know how it is. Like, comment. You know. I can't believe you're keeping so many hostages in that pyramid. You're not just twisted. You're evil. Hey, stay back! Damn it! Why am I being humiliated like this? Lord Yasracha gave me his power and put me at the top of the pyramid. Hey. I've always looked after you animals. Are you trying to help me? Come here. Come here and keep that man away until I get out of here safely. Huh? What are you doing? You're supposed to protect me. Are you disobeying me? I'm your master. Kendrick Deal. You always seem to be sitting. Is something wrong with your legs? No, Lord Yasracha. Are you uncomfortable with me sitting? If that's the case. No, I'm just asking. Purely out of curiosity. I see. I'm trying to avoid doing things myself. Starting with walking. Is that so? One day, it suddenly occurred to me that the dumber and more basic the animal, the more it requires its legs. It also occurred to me that I can get around just fine without using my legs. My job is to command others, not to move myself. I don't have to walk anyway, so I decided not to. That's an interesting idea. So you're saying you don't need to walk since you can just get others to do things for you? As you like, then. Yes, Lord Yasracha. I knew you would understand. Very impressive. Well, I'd better get going. His legs are a symbol of how much more evolved he is than other animals. Yet he's proud to choose a regression just to show off his power. That would be such a foolish choice to make for an animal whose life revolves around survival and evolution. Yet it's also a very human choice. You really have become wonderfully corrupt. Kendrick Deal. Hatz! It's probably actually Shibisu. Are you okay? It hurts so bad. It feels like my insides are going to explode from the pressure. Is this what it feels like? Every time you use that power of yours. Bomb. Hatz! Hatz! Bomb's part of the field. A new turn has begun. The number of squares and direction? 4 squares forward. I see. You're going that way, huh? So you'd rather face the map boss than deal with me? No matter how much stronger the map boss may be, it can be stronger than a legendary high ranker. I suppose that makes sense, but you'll probably regret it. White's gonna catch up to me eventually unless I take this route. I don't have a chance of beating White right now. It's better to go with this route that has a slightly better, that has at least slightly better odds, even if it's an unknown factor. I'm going to avoid White and take the jumping route. If I can beat all the monsters in one turn, I may not have to face White. Even if I run into an extremely powerful monster, I'll be able to cross the map in the shortest amount of time. I'd like to move forward by 4 squares. Alrighty. Would you like to open the prison? Yeah, hurry. The prison is now opening. Please note that monsters will come out of the prison. It's huge. Is there just one monster? As I explained earlier, the jumping route allows you to save time, but the monsters in the prison are much stronger. That monster that emerged from the prison is a middle area beast that even rankers were afraid of. This is its breeding season, so the male is even more aggressive than usual. Don't let your guard down just because there's only one monster. He's right. It's way stronger than the other monsters. Come on, this isn't very entertaining to watch. Use that thorn or whatever to kill it. You think I'm gonna fall for that? I know you want me to use up all my energy so that you can catch me. I was just trying to give you some advice. I mean, I don't want that thing to steal my prey. You still haven't really used the powers within you. You just use little bits and pieces of each power. You'll never gather enough power that way. You have to command the powers within you to gather together as one, with as much force as you can muster. When all your powers are directed in a single direction at a single target, then they're compressed into one. That's the only way for you to properly use your power. Command my powers to gather together? What is it? Are you interested? No! I'm not interested in hearing what a nasty person like you has to say! I've changed Bomb's voice. It used to be a lot softer, but I've kind of harshened it up a little bit, I think. You sure are stubborn, but I don't think this is going to go quite as smoothly as you wish. His horn got even bigger? Slayer candidate, it's only a matter of time until you set your powers on fire. The day when I first devoured another person's soul, I was extremely confused. I wondered, is it right to consume other people's souls just like this to gain power? If I can't take it back, how should I feel about the powers of other people within me? But because of my thirst for power, I continued devouring souls in spite of my confusion. And as I obtained more power, strangely enough, at some point, that intense confusion simply vanished. All I heard was a clear, single sound of a single sword. The cries of all those souls I devoured were silenced, as though cut down by my blade. It was then that I learned about myself. I've always been different from them. I've been a ruthless predator since birth. I was destined for a blood-soaked crown. There was never any need to worry about that. This power could only be obtained by getting blood on my hands. This crown may be blood-stained, but it is a token given to a lord who towers over the dead. You are the same as me. I want to see you get drunk on your own enormous power and put on this blood-stained crown yourself. I want to see you corrupted by great power. Alright then, that will do for this video. It has been, well, nearly 25 minutes now. So yeah, one episode this week. Not because I'm tired, like I originally planned, because I'm actually not really tired anymore. But because it dragged on quite a bit. It was a long chapter. It was actually quite an enjoyable one. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, with all that said, I've been Animosity, you've been you, and I hope to catch you next time for another video. Ta-ta! Bye now.